and how's it going, and to shake the matrix and to make you think and expand your mind and all of those amazing things. I am sorry I'm on in the evening rather than the morning, but I had a busy day today and it was a good day, you know. Lots of nice, beautiful sun and hang out with some friends. Can't complain too much at all. I wrote down some things this morning and I decided that I was going to share them with you this evening. And I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about uh, the topic grace. And do any of you know what it really is? And I'm going to give you a quote and see what you guys think about this one. But John Dewey once said that true grace comes only when we have nothing to depend upon in ourselves, but must cast ourselves in humble trust upon the even present goodness of the world. It's a powerful statement, one that speaks to the heart of what it means to be given grace, to get to that place where you have absolutely nothing to hang on to anymore. And I got to experience the utter, most amazing grace that anyone could ever ask for, as being in the face of grace itself, creation at its best, pure love in its existence. And thanks to the grace of love in itself, creation, I got to return to bring messages and speak to all of you people. And you got to watch, some of you got to experience watching me grow into this place and having all these things that I have gained on that side get integrated into this body. And boy, has it taken a long time. And so I'm finally getting into these places where I'm being able to share some of the things and put it into language and context so you guys can take it and ride with it yourself. But grace is a concept that many of us struggle to fully actually understand. Even though we've all experienced it in some form or another, whether it's a kind word or a sympathetic ear or a loving touch, grace is a reminder that we are not alone in this world. It is a reminder that we are something greater than ourselves at work and in the world. There is something that transcends time, space, and all matter of existence. And I call it love, the creation, the breath, inhale, exhale. Some religions will say God because for some reason we can't pronounce that name. But those things anyways. Grace is something we all need. But even with the reminder, it can be difficult to live our lives with grace. I remember what a friend once told me one time, sometimes you need just grace in the midst of the day, to make it through. Because sometimes we just feel like giving up. Life gets hard sometimes and the pressures are all there and we can't think straight and there's all kinds of things. And in those moments, we need that grace bubble right there. It's to extend it to others and to receive it with gratitude. We get caught up in our own struggles half the time and insecurities and desires. We lose sight of the bigger picture. We forget that we are all interconnected, And so sometimes we have explosions and we act like idiots, and then we need grace for that, right? Grace for those growth periods. So that's why I believe the key for us all to cultivating grace in our lives is to let go of our own pride and self-reliance. Because you know what? What is the thing that keeps us from giving grace to each other? It's our pride. It's our own ego. It's our ignorances. It's all these different things. When truth is we each all need it. We're not in control of what goes on around us. And that we need to lean on something greater than ourselves, which is, I believe in a creator. It's not really a belief or faith for me. I've seen the creation's face to face, so I know it's there and it exists, but we all need to experience this grace. And grace transforms us. It transforms us all in profound ways. How many of you can sit there and think of a story where someone you didn't deserve it, but someone gave you grace and it meant so much to you. It was life-changing. So we know what that experience is like, and we know that it does transform us. And how's it going? Good to see you too. And when we experience grace, we know how profound it is. So it's good for us to encourage us all to become more compassionate and more understanding and to do things that we never thought maybe we would even do. Sometimes even buy coffee for someone that You maybe just think is like some dude that's maybe a bum. You think is a bum on the street or whatever, but you don't know that story. And you take that time, give grace, and we'll take that dude out for a cup of coffee and get to know their reality and their story, what got them there in the first place. Sometimes it blow our minds. I mean, I'll never forget one time me and my sons we were out. We were out on a family holiday, and my kids decided, Mom, let's go take a walk down the worst neighborhood possibly known to man. And so my Canadian also Inglewood, and you know what? It was amazing. It was really, really cool on and telling everyone not to touch us, not to harm us. And then if they did, they would have to pay the consequences. And so we were protected. We were given this grace to be in these insane neighborhoods and communities that are known to be dangerous. And instead, we got to get to know the people there, and we got to get to know the stories. And man, I was so blown away. You know, people who had fought for us to even have our freedom. The system just failed them and didn't give them anything. And so they're self-medicating. Or we met some that weren't even medicating at all, but they had lost everything. And they also gave some important things into this world. And it made me realize, like, wow, we really lack this grace, and we lack this understanding, and we lack this compassion, and we need to become more compassionate. Grace is not just some freaking concept. It's a way of life. It's a way of being in the world. It's that says I'm not alone. You know, I'm loved. I'm accepted for who I am. And I have a purpose and a place in this world. It's recognizing that grace to be. So we all need to kind of cultivate that grace, don't we? Because we all need it. So if anything I can encourage you guys to work on and to do this week is give yourself grace. We weren't expecting that, now were you? Most of us would expect for someone to say, go give someone else grace. See, the thing is, most of the time we don't give ourselves grace, which is why then we don't have the time to give someone else grace. So go give yourself some grace. Go sit down and be some compassionate to yourself. Stop beating yourself up. Realize that you're here having this experience, your journey of self-discovery. And in that expression, sometimes we make mistakes. But we get to have grace in the day. Grace in the midst of the day. As my old wise friend would have said back in the time. You know. So give us. How's everybody? I literally today just decided I wasn't going to do any work, which is why I decided not to do any teaching this morning and just come on here this evening. And vegged out and hung out with friends, and my dogs had a hoot of a time. They had such a hoot of a time, they're sitting behind me snoring away. London's in a dream. He's running in his sleep right now. I love it when dogs do that, when they're dreaming and they start moving their paws in their sleep. It's hilarious. Zena's just sitting here. She's kind of half awake, half asleep. She's just chilling out. Hey, Zeners. Princess warrior. Yeah. Well, anyways, make sure you do one thing towards your dreams every single day. It brings you one step closer. Make sure you recognize you're valuable and you matter, and you're all unique puzzle pieces, part of the ultimate puzzle of the cosmos. Peace and much love. You guys take it easy.